Hello friends, in this video tutorial, let us see DAX queries in tabular model for SSAS. So for the purpose of this video tutorial, let us go to our SSAS 2012 database, which we had used in one of our earlier video tutorials. As in this database, we had developed two databases. Okay, in SSAS 2012 instance, we had developed two databases, that is Tabular Project 1 and Tabular Project 2. So let us go to Tabular Project 2. In this there is internet sales table, then there is dim customer, dim date and dim products table. Now with the help of this particular database, that is Tabular 2 project, Tabular Project 2 database, let us understand some of the basic DAX queries. Okay. Now this particular session on DAX queries is not a very detailed one. It is an overview of DAX queries in tabular model, but we will try to cover a lot of syntax. Okay, so let us go through the first query. So the basic statement, as we have in SQL, we have select statement, and similarly in DAX we have evaluate. So which means right now there is a dimension called dim customer. So if you want to see all the data of dim customer, what we can see is we can write evaluate dim customer in single quotes. Table names are written in single quotes. Okay, so if we write this, we'll get the data of dim customers. Okay, now we can see over here that the first column is customer key and it is not arranged in any particular order. Okay, so what if we want to order by this customer key? Then we can have order by clause. Okay, as we had order by clause in SQL, similarly we have order by clause in DAX. So let's say we want to order by customer key and then the name. Okay, so let's execute this and we can see that the customers have been ordered by customer ID. Okay, and then actually there is not much meaning in ordering by first name, but just as a matter of syntax I have written it. Okay, now let us say that this is the customer key. What if we want to start our records from here? So we don't want these records to be displayed 0 to 6 records, that is this first 7 records. If we don't want to display, and if we want to start for the 8th record, that is we want to start from 007, then that can also be done. Okay, this is typically required in case of reporting. Okay, so if you want to start our report from here, we can do that, and for that there is a start at clause. So if you execute this query, all the data will be displayed starting from 007. So the first 6 records will be skipped. Okay, so this is about the basic evaluate statement with order by and start by clause. Okay, sorry, start at clause. Okay, now let us go to the second thing, that is filter. Okay, now up to here in this first example we have not used any functions. In the second example for filter we will use the function. Okay, filter is a function. It is like a where clause in SQL. Okay, so with the help of this filter function we can filter the data. Okay, so this is evaluate. Then what do we want to evaluate? Which table data we want? We want internet sales data. Now for internet sales we are putting two filters. The first level filter will filter all the records where ship date key is less than due date key. Okay, so let's go to internet sales. Okay, so we want records where ship date key is less than due date key. Okay, and so this ends the first level filter. Okay, right, and it is returning us a kind of tabular data, so that can be used for further filtering. So we put a comma, and then in the second part, for the second filter, we will filter as internet sales unit price greater than 10. So you can see over here, let us execute. Okay, so we can see over here that only that data is displayed for which the unit price, that is this column, is having value greater than 10. Okay, and where ship date key is less than due date key. So in this way we can apply multiple levels of filter function in a single evaluate clause, in a single evaluate statement. Okay. So now let's go to the third syntax, that is calculate table. Now calculate table is similar to calculate. Calculate returns a single column, whereas calculate table returns a tabular data. Okay. So first we have to write evaluate. Then what do we want to evaluate? We want to evaluate internet sales. Okay. So we want data from this particular table, internet sales table. Now how do we want to calculate the table? So it's also kind of where clause. Okay. But calculate table is, generally speaking, it is faster than filter. Okay. And we'll see one more thing, add columns. It is still faster than calculate table. Okay. Now over here, what is the where clause that we want to introduce with the help of calculate table, or what is the kind of filtering that we want? We want those data for which sales amount in the internet sales table, that is sales amount in the internet sales table, okay, is greater than 50. Okay. And we want to do ordering by, and order by product key. Okay. So we want ordering to be done by the first column of internet sales, that is product key. So let us execute up to here first of all. Okay. So we can see that only those sales amounts are displayed for which the amount is greater than 50. So let's go to sales amount column, right? This is the column. So only those sales amounts are displayed for which the sales amount is greater than 50. Okay. Now, but over here it is not ordered in any particular manner, right? So this is the first column. So let us order it by first column. So let us order by order key. So let us execute, and we can see that only that data is displayed for which the sales amount is greater than 50, and also the ordering is done as per the product key. Okay. Okay. Now evaluate, add columns. Okay. So now what does add columns mean? Let us see with the help of this example. First of all, there is evaluate statement, and what do we want to evaluate? We want to evaluate internet sales. So we will definitely get the data of all the columns from this particular table, that is internet sales table, right? Now add columns will add a dynamically calculated column, okay, to the display, right? So what do we want to add? So we specified with the help of comma, and we are naming this, we are providing this alias name. Okay, we are naming this column as profit margin percentage. Then we put a comma, and then we provide the formula for this particular column for auto calculation, right? So what do we want in this particular column? So this column will be displayed towards the end. Okay. And what do we want? We want to divide sales amount minus product cost, total product cost, divided by total product cost. So total product cost is present, sales amount is present. So it will give us the margin, and the total margin will be divided by the total product cost. So it will give the profit margin percentage. So let us evaluate, let us execute. So we can see that we are able to see all the columns of internet sales table, but we have an additional column towards the end, and the name of the column is profit margin percentage. Okay, and it has been calculated based on this particular formula. Okay. So now let us go to another statement, that is summarize. Summarize statement in DAX is similar to group by statement in SQL. So first of all, we are writing evaluate, and then what do we want to evaluate? We want to evaluate internet sales, that is we will get data from this table. Now we want to do group by. So first of all, we will provide the group by column name. So we will group by order date key. Okay, so we will group by this particular column. And what is the aggregate function that we want to use for this particular grouping? So for that, we will introduce a new column called sales amount, and in that we will put this sum function, that is sum of sales amount from the internet sales table. Okay, so let us execute this. So we can see that we have distinct order date keys over here, and whatever is the sum of the internet sales amount for this particular order date keys is displayed as the second column, and the title of the second column is sales amount, right, which we have specified in double quotes, right. Okay, so let us see one more next syntax, and that is cross join. Cross join is like producing the Cartesian product between the distinct possible combinations within a column. So in this case, let us understand first of all this much. Cross join distinct dim product color. Let us go to dim product. Okay, so color will have some distinct values, right? Similarly, size will have some distinct values. So what we are saying is, take all distinct values of color, take all distinct values of size, and create a Cartesian product out of it, which means all combinations of color or every value of color will be repeated for all combinations of size. Okay, so in this way a Cartesian product will be prepared. Now this Cartesian product is like a table, right? This data will be similar to a table, so that we can give in add columns, okay, as the first argument of the add columns, right? So this is the table, and we are saying add columns now with a comma, and in the second argument we'll add a dynamic column. So what do we want to add? Dim product, count rows, related table is this table, okay, dim product. Okay, so which means for this dim product, which is the related table for this cross join table, right, count the related tables rows, okay, and that display as dim product. So let us see the output. So we can see over here that there is first of all a Cartesian product. In the first two columns we can see that there is a Cartesian product, which means all combinations will be shown. Even if for red and 70, let's say white and 70, blue and 70, there are no products, right, still those combinations will be shown, but over here there will be null values, okay, right. But for all the values or all the combinations for which there is a value existing in the products table, that value will be shown, that is count of those records will be shown, okay, in the third column, which is a calculated column we added with the help of add columns, and the count is, and the formula is count rows, okay, for the related table. And now this is the last syntax that we want to see. Now this if we look at this last syntax, then it will cover most of the basic syntax that is there in the DAX. DAX is a vast language like any other language, so it will have many different functions and all, but this covers the main syntax that is present in as part of the DAX for tabular models, okay. Now let us use define measure, okay. So it is similar to MDX. In MDX also we can define a new measure, runtime measure, which can be used further in the query, right. Over here also in DAX also we can define measure, runtime measure, with the statement define measure, okay. So what are we defining over here? We are defining total sales as the name of the new measure, which will be present, this measure will be present inside internet sales table, okay, and just for this query, okay. And then what we are using, we are using sum of the total sales amount, okay, in this new column. So with the help of then we can use the evaluate statement just like select statement, right, and then we are adding a column. So we need all columns for internet sales plus this newly added column, okay, that is total sales, and name of the columns are written in double quotes, okay, whereas name of the tables are always written in single quotes. So you can see that the name of the column is present in double quotes, and then we are providing with the help of a comma, we are providing the exact formula for this particular column, and formula is nothing but this newly calculated measure, which is total sales. The name is total sales, right. So let us execute this, okay. And now we are not doing proper aggregation over here, so it will this particular value total sales will give the same values as there in the sales, okay. So we can see the sales amount is matching with the total sales amounts, okay. But in this way, I just use this example to show the syntax part, that is in this way you can use define measure to dynamically introduce a runtime calculated measure into your query, okay. So now for this video tutorial. This will be the last syntax that we are seeing. Okay, that is define measure, and this video tutorial is not comprehensive for DAX queries for Tabular, but it gives a fairly good idea about the kind of or the different syntaxes present for DAX in Tabular models. So I hope friends this video tutorial is useful to you. Thank you.